Xbox is getting its own handheld, and it's dropping this year, and it's going to be uniquely Xbox, according to the rumors, according to information by Jez Corden over at Windows Central, who dropped all the details that he's aware of about not just the handheld, but the successor to the Xbox Series S and X, what the next-gen console is going to look like in 2026, 2027. But the big news here in my mind is that this handheld is dropping this year. So that's super exciting. Now, this is just a partnership handheld. Let's be clear about that up front. There was a lot of confusion in the last 24 hours about this. There's a lot of people saying this is a first-party Xbox handheld. It is not. It is a partnership handheld. Let's go over the details. Let's go over what we want to see. There's a tweet out there that I want to take a look at that actually has the design that I think is correct for an Xbox handheld. It's what I would want to see as far as a design on Xbox handheld. I don't want to see this. In other words, this is like an ROG Ally. This is clearly made with AI. This is an ROG Ally version of a handheld. I don't like this. I want the Xbox controller hands on there. The grips. That's what I want. Very similar to the PlayStation Portal. The PlayStation Portal, it's got that, and that's what makes it uniquely PlayStation. The controller grips was what would make it uniquely Xbox. So that's what I would like to see. Regardless, it's exciting. It's a step into the future, I think, here. So we'll go over all the details. Before we do, though, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. My name is X1 the Gamer. We drop videos like this all the time right here. So like, subscribe, share us with your friends, and let's jump into it. Before we actually jump into the article by Jez Corden, I do want to just take a look at a tweet by Tom Warren, because I think he clarifies this the best. This is just on, is this a first-party handheld coming from Xbox? It is not. He clarifies it the best. I think he says, I've seen the report about Microsoft's Project Keenan. And just to be clear, there is no first-party Xbox handheld arriving in 2025. Keenan is part of a PC gaming handheld work with OEMs. This is where the confusion comes in. Don't use OEMs. Just call it what it is. If you're not in the industry, you don't know what OEMs means. OEM is original equipment manufacturer. So it's a partnership. It's a PC gaming handheld partnership with Xbox and a manufacturer. So it could be with Lenovo, it could be with Razer, it could be with a Steam Deck for all we know. It could be with a variety of hardware manufacturers. It's a partnership. And so Tom Warren is clear about this. It's not directly manufactured or built by Microsoft or Xbox, in other words. Just think that's important to clear up, because there is some confusion on that out there on the interwebs. Okay, let's take a look at this article. Let's review it. The headline: Microsoft's first full foray into PC gaming handhelds begins with a partner device set to launch later this year with its own Xbox Series XS successors now fully in production. This is a mock-up of what of what it could potentially look like. This is codenamed Keenan, the partner device. I hope it's not this, to be honest. I want those controller hands. That's what makes it uniquely Xbox. That's what makes it the best. The best way to play the Nintendo Switch. There's add-on devices that give you that pro-style controller. It's way better. Playing like this with your hand, it just is not as good of an experience, in my opinion. The grips on the end are the best. So we're gonna scroll down to where he begins to talk about it. How do we get rid of this autoplay? There it is. Okay, first up, here's what he's learned about what's coming in the console space for Xbox. He says, this is Jez Corden again. Go check it out. Windows Central, linked it to the sources in the description below. First up, Microsoft is working with a PC gaming OEM, think Asus, Lenovo, MSI, Razer, etc., on an Xbox-branded gaming handheld, surprisingly slated for 2025 if plans are met. First up, I just want to say that's incredibly exciting that we're already going to be starting to get handhelds for Xbox, even if it's just a partnership one. A branded Xbox branded handheld means that it will have the Xbox UI or the new UI that Microsoft is going to be playing with, that Microsoft's going to be using in the future going forward. So very excited. I would buy if the handheld has some specific things, I'll be a day one purchaser. Absolutely. Why? Do you say, why are you so hyped on handhelds? Because handhelds tailor themselves to my life. It tailors gaming to my life. I can sit on a couch and play while my kids watch TV in the living room, or my wife is reading a book, and I don't have to take up the TV. I don't have to be tied to my PC gaming desk down here or wherever I'm set up with my console. I can take it just around the house even, I think is wildly valuable, and it enables me to get exponentially more gaming time in than I otherwise would be able to get. This is codename Keenan. Jess Gordon says, this gaming handheld will look unmistakably Xbox, we're told, complete with an official Xbox guide button and Xbox design sensibilities. Okay, Xbox design sensibilities, please have the controller grips. I think the PlayStation Portal is the best way to do it. Again, I think the best way to play the Nintendo Switch is with the grips, where it basically turns it into a controller on the sides. For those of you that don't know, the PlayStation Portal basically took the PlayStation 5 controller, divided it in half, and then put a screen in the middle. A big screen in the middle. And it's just best. It works the best. So I hope the Xbox design sensibilities is that. I hope it's a controller. We're actually going to take a look over on Twitter here after we go through this article at a tweet where they go over what, some of the same things that I hope it is. And it does have those controller grips on it. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see this. I think this is inferior as far as a design. I think this is the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally. I want the controller grips on the side. That's what makes it Xbox, in my opinion. More even than the Jewel button. I think that the controller, having the Xbox controller, is what gives Xbox the advantage. Given that this is a partner device similar to Lenovo's Steam OS partnership with Valve, I expect this handheld to be more PC oriented. Keenan is almost definitely running full Windows, putting the Microsoft Store and PC Game Pass front and center alongside the ability to install things like Steam. So this is something that Phil Spencer has talked about in the past. What if you could play all of your games on a console? So it seems like this is a first step with the mobile handheld. Sorry, I'm brain freeze right there. With the handheld, looks like this is the first step in that direction. I love that it's full Windows, means that everything's backwards compatible. Especially, it means that, like they said here, you'll be most likely be able to install things like Steam on it. The one thing that I would say I'm hesitant about here is I think simplicity needs to be key. And I hope that their UI and operating system is such that I can just turn it on and play. The problem with an ROG Ally right now, and even the Steam Deck to a certain extent, less so with the Steam Deck, but more with the ROG Ally, and that's where more of my experience is. It's not plug and play. You load up a game. You've got to go in and configure the settings. It's a PC. You got to go in and configure the settings so that it runs optimally on your device, because it's just using PC install on this handheld, but this handheld can't run at default PC settings, so you go in and configure it. I don't want to have to do that. That's not the advantage me. That doesn't advantage me. That's more of a hassle than I'm willing. I don't have time to do that. That's why I like the console. I like the convenience of it. It plugs, plays, works. That's what I need in a handheld, and I hope that's what we're getting here with the UI. Jess Gordon continues. This device will likely serve, at least in part, as a research experience for Microsoft. I expect the handheld will test new Windows 11 device-aware capabilities while reducing third-party OEM bloatware that are typical with devices like the Lenovo Legion, the Asus ROG Ally. I expect Microsoft will leverage widgets on the Xbox Game Bar on PC for controlling things like TDP and fan speed, while hopefully having a more streamlined operating system experience for controller use. Agreed. More streamlined OS experience for controller use. The thing about controller use is going to be built into the handhelds, especially if we get those grips. Of course, existing PC gaming OEMs, just OEMs, anytime you see OEMs, that's the manufacturer. Existing PC gaming manufacturers will benefit from these efforts as well, but the research will also help with Microsoft's further out plans. In other words, they are going to be dropping their own handheld. Here's what he says. Because indeed, our sources also indicate that Microsoft's internal successor to the Xbox Series X and S platform has already been fully greenlit all the way up to CEO Satya Nadella. For now, I understand that Microsoft's next-gen hardware plans include a premium successor to the Xbox Series X, very exciting, alongside its own Xbox gaming handheld. Also very exciting. and several new controller options. Tentatively, these new console devices are slated for 2027. So in 2027, remember, Phil Spencer has talked about this before. He says with phones, you have price entry points and nothing ever gets outdated. So it's always working. So the idea here is that you're going to have a premium console hybrid, PC hybrid, that a few influencers are predicting that's like $800. Let's pretend that is indeed the case. I'm not sure that will be the case. I just think that's a little high for a console. Like, why do that when I can get? It depends what it could do, but why do that when I could just get a PC? I think you got to come in around the $500 mark, maybe $600 at the most. But that's traditionally what the console space is. But we'll see. Regardless, there'll be a high end one, there'll be a more affordable option, and then there'll be a handheld. And indeed, the handheld may be the more affordable option. We'll see how that goes. Regardless, they're all going to be launching in 2027. It seems that the next gen Xbox consoles will be closer to Windows than ever before, reducing the amount of work developers have to commit to when porting from PC. I understand that they will continue to support backwards compatibility with legacy Xbox games too. However, Xbox President Sarah Bond previously announced a project team specifically designed to promote backwards and forwards compatibility for existing Xbox games. To that end, Xbox lead Phil Spencer has teased in previous interviews a desire to support third-party storefronts on Xbox hardware too, including platforms like the Epic's Game Store, GOG, itch.io, and even Steam itself. There's every reason to presume AI will have a role to play next gen, as well as Xbox cloud capabilities. Microsoft's new controllers have direct-to-cloud connectivity, from what I've been told, and more intelligently allow players to switch them between different devices. Of course, there are plenty of logistical issues to overcome with regard to some of these plans. Always note the plans might change between now and 2027. Consider this a preview of what will come to pass as we wait for official reviews from Microsoft itself. A few things. I do think having multiple game stores on your console would then, I guess, make that hybrid console PC at an $800 price point, depending on what it can do value-wise, worth it for even PC gamers to purchase. I just don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if that comes. I do like that, though. I like that these walls are I like that these walls are being demolished and that we're able to play, just like Xbox has said, where we want, how we want, and when we want. So what is expected to come in 2027 from Xbox? Here's the headline. A plurality of devices are on the way for Xbox fans, new and old. Xbox's multi-device future revolves around meeting players exactly where they are, regardless of device geography or play style. Its acquisition of Activision Blizzard accelerated that vision, anchoring Microsoft as a gaming company for the foreseeable future. Microsoft's slate of upcoming Xbox games is stronger than ever, and the possibilities for integrations between Game Pass, Battle.net, Cloud, and Microsoft mobile games also offer tantalizing potential. It's very interesting how positive that paragraph is that Jez Corden is writing. He, in the past, has been critical of Xbox in their moves, particularly when they were first moving to this multi-platform strategy. So it's interesting how, once again, we've highlighted this before. It is his job, it is journalists' jobs to look and to review and to critique, but they're really not industry changers, right? It is a business's job. It is a CEO's job to have the future, to have the vision, and to push forward into things that we don't even know we want until it's created and we want them. The smartphone was probably thought of as a dumb idea. It'll never work. That's stupid. You touch your phone. Now it's ubiquitous. Everybody uses it. And at that time, journalists were probably criticizing that. So it's always why I take critique from everybody in the space on a business plans with a grain of salt, because ultimately it's up to the business to prove it. And it does look like Microsoft has had success and has turned that corner. And a lot of people are excited here. I agree. I think it's very exciting. The possibilities for integrations with Game Pass, Battle.net, Microsoft Mobile, hybrid PC, so that PC ports come over day one on launches, I think is very, very exciting. The idea of gaming devices meeting me where I'm at in my lifestyle and giving me options like with a handheld, for instance, I think is incredibly exciting and important. And you can see how everybody's shifting this way. PlayStation's rumoring to do it. Nintendo is already doing it. So it's very, very exciting. Microsoft's strategy has de-emphasized its own Xbox console audience as its main growth vector. however, which has put stressors on the brand. I've argued in previous editorials that Microsoft needs to bring its core audience along for the ride rather than leave them behind, and its hardware plan seems to be doing exactly that. Once again, for everybody who has said, oh, they're leaving hardware, they're going third party. No, they're not. Just because their games eventually will go to other platforms, it's dropping day one on Game Pass, and they're still building hardware. Again, exactly what I think he put it really well. They're bringing their core console audience along for the ride. They're supporting them with the hardware that they want and desire. By linking Xbox to Windows, Microsoft can cast off the need to build a system that is completely lockstep with PlayStation on features and power. Microsoft could potentially target a more powerful box more in line with higher-end PCs, giving developers an easier time to optimize their Windows PC versions specifically for the next-gen Xbox console. Now, this is what everybody's talking about. I believe Cole Eastwood recently did a video where he said it's going to be $800, he thinks, for this new console. It's going to be interesting to see. But, yeah, they could go for the high-end PC point. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to be priced out. Let me be clear here, because just like this article has said, it's multiple devices that are dropping. The reason for that is multiple price points, multiple entry points into the Xbox ecosystem for you. Thanks to the Xbox Series S, Microsoft already has a large amount of games that could be more easily ported to a handheld type system too. The strong possibility that these future systems will remain backward compatible ensures that those of us who are digitally locked to the Xbox ecosystem will have a place to upgrade to in the future. Future Xbox games will likely be Windows oriented, hopefully with Xbox Play Anywhere as a default licensing model. Huge. Means that you can play on your PC, you can play on your handheld, you can play on your console, you can play on your mobile device. Xbox Play Anywhere you can pick up and play literally anywhere, I think is a huge selling feature and is going to be the norm going forward. Absolutely. Of course, there's still so much we don't know and can only speculate upon for now. Price, specs, features, developer support, and beyond are for a future report, at least for now. Xbox well and truly remains all in. Let's repeat that. Xbox remains all in with the hardware. Very, very exciting. Let's go back up to this picture here. Number one, it's exciting that we're getting, even though it's not a first-party hardware device, the fact we're getting a partnered hardware device is going to give us a peek into what we can expect directly from Xbox in the future. We're going to get to see how UI, how the operating system works, what their plans are, what their vision is for PC games, work out some of the kinks with this hardware, with this partnership hardware. It's going to be really, really cool. I do not want it to look like this, to be clear. I do want it, get ready, to look like this. Now, who is this from? This is from Goat Gaming. This is what I would like it to look like. Now, does he have... I think this is something that he just put together, and I think this is exactly correct. Basically, what is this, you ask, that we're looking at here? This is basically the PlayStation Portal Xbox version. We've got what looks like the Elite controller here with a giant screen in the middle. Now, this is obviously just a mock-up, not perfect, but... this is what would make it uniquely Xbox, in my opinion. You've got SSD expansions on the top, volume tabs, USB-C, a fan, and then the power button at the top. The one thing that I don't see here is the Xbox Jewel. So I do think we're going to have the Xbox Jewel somewhere as well. I think that's inherent in any Xbox device going forward. But this is what I want. This is what I think should make the Xbox unique. It should be an Xbox-like controller. Now, because this is a partnership hardware, it might not, but I would like to see it as an Xbox-like controller. The one thing that I don't know is, or one thing that I want to say, Phil Spencer has said this in the past. For handhelds to be successful, it does need to require native, localized download of games. If it only operates in the cloud, not a huge fan. The PlayStation Portal only operates in the cloud, and to be clear, I do like my PlayStation Portal. It is very useful, even though it only operates in the cloud. It is not as useful as it could be if I could download games natively to the device. That is what I would like to see in this device. It's going to be very interesting to see what it is. It is coming this year, regardless. And I'm going to be interested as well what the price point is for this device, this handheld device as well. So I would love to know what you guys think, though. What do you want it to look like? Do you like this version? Or do you like more of the traditional handheld version, like the Switch, the ROG Ally, the Steam Deck, like this? I'm all in on, personally, I'm all in on this. I think the Xbox grips is what would set it apart. You've got your right and left bumpers. You've got your triggers there. You've still got the same layout with the thumbsticks, and I think it just is a convenience factor. Well, like I said before, I think the Nintendo Switch with the add-on grips that you can purchase, third-party grips, is the best way to play the Nintendo Switch. I think this is the best way to play any handheld, to be honest. I would love to know what you guys think, though. Also, are you in day one on this? Are you in day one if it's cloud only? Are you in day one if it's native download? What is the right price point? Let me know all of those. What do you guys think it will be in the comments below? Again, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. My name is X1 the Gamer. We drop videos like this all the time right here. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.